This is the very first episode of the 6 millimeter operator. Uh, I'm Sean, and I'm joined today by the man, the Magic Man. Sorry, I should say, Magic Knives, aka Kito.
How's it going? Thanks for having me, man.
Sick, bro. I'm stoked that you're kind of a part of this with me. Like, well, not kind of, but I'm just kind of I'm pumped up that I get to chat with you a lot more than I normally do, which is kind of shitty because I'm a terrible friend, and I only shoot the shit with you whenever I'm at Soli, and that makes me feel
Yeah,
like an
no,
asshole.
yeah, no. Don't even go say that. Like, life, as you know, is busy, and like it's just nice that whenever you do take the time to come out and play at our place, despite how small we are compared to the other big names in the area, it's just nice that you can have a much more interactive experience with the players and the staff, like including myself. So it's just nice to know that you see the work that we've been trying to do for the community, and it's great to see that you've been enjoying the journey so far with us. So I'm glad that we've been able to give you and your YouTube channel some pretty epic content so far from the times you've played at a place so far.
Yeah, man. I honestly like I was very skeptic about coming to Soli in general, and then I don't know. So like, I think we had this chat a few weeks ago, before our Battlefield 6 session. But I think the only reason why I took a chance on the field was from Kip's video.
Mm.
Hopefully, God willing, I can get Kip on the fucking show at some point. That would be awesome.
It would
Um,
be amazing.
he would be awesome.
Really cool
He's a
dude.
great dude. I fucking love hanging out with that guy. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
Um,
I really hope he comes back and makes a return, because the time that he did the video, that was when we only had our range sessions at the time, and I've been really just, I mean, I've tried my best to reach out and hope that, whenever he does take a moment, that he can come out, maybe bring his new wife to the field as well, join in on a CQB session, and hopefully he can appreciate what we have as well, even though it's smaller, like you've been saying, it's a much more interactive and just chill vibe, you
yeah.
know.
No, man,
But yeah, sorry.
it's a fun time, dude. Like it's not a very like, for lack of a better term, target rich environment, but like the uh, the 10 player cap, and the size of the field and the way you have it laid out. It's dude, it's a hell of a fucking workout. Like a serious fucking workout. I think the first couple times that I went and I visited you guys in the field, I think I ended up coming home and I was so tired, but I was like so calm, so relaxed. I was
Mhm,
in like a state of zen, I guess you could call it.
mhm.
But nah, man, it's every time I go,
Great.
I bust my ass. Like it's not a very long slot, but the guys that I'm always pit against, like K-Sun and fucking even Chris, that one time, like he put me out, dude. Like he's really
Yeah.
good at what he does, and he
Oh
hasn't been
yeah.
doing it very long, but like fuck, man, like that guy put me on my ass hard.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to me that even though solely as far as a indoor field, like we've only the the airsoft field itself, I think, has only existed now for about a year and a half, and already we've developed a very loyal fan base, but also a very highly skilled fan base. I obviously remember the days, and we still have nights where it's like just a whole group of like noobs and guys that are huge safety hazards to everyone. But like the times, yeah, like I'm sure you can imagine, but like the times like when we have mostly a night of, or it's a complete group of like experienced players, like you just get to see the best like moments and skill, like like skill that like you normally just don't get to see, because with larger fields, like I said, like I've said to you, it's like it's harder to capture every little moment. So like yeah, it sucks, like size wise we don't have it, but like because of the way it's set up, like I'm actually able to capture from the second floor all the like as much as I can, like all these really cool moments when other people like are doing jump shots, or they're coming around the corner and just take them out, or even when you had your moment in I think it was the second time you played, you got that 1v 3 or 1v4 clutch to get the bomb defusal and win that Counter-Strike game. That was definitely like I think in like top 10 highlights from throughout the history of Soli so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I
So it's
I
pretty.
watched that video back actually on my channel, and I was like, "Fuck, dude." I don't know why, but like I cleared that moment from my brain, and then I watched it back
Mhm.
after we had chatted about it, and I was like, "Man, that still gives me goosebumps." Like I was like, okay, again, it's not a very like I'm not a very competitive person, or at least I try not to be. But like that moment, I was like, I feel like fucking Kobe Bryant right now.
Yeah.
Like it was brutal,
Yeah.
man. But like fuck, it was definitely one of those clips that's like I fucking rinsed four dudes in a span of like
Yeah.
15 seconds. Like I felt really good about
Hmm.
that.
That was super clutch, yo. Like that was
I think that was the last game of the
like
night too. Like I'm pretty sure it was the
it
very
was,
last
yeah.
round.
It was like you like I think I watched it again recently too, just because like yeah, it's still one of the my favorite moments that I was able to capture. But like yeah, it was just nice to see that, especially with the way the game modes that we've been able to put together. It's like you're able to give these players, including yourself, like these lifetime moments that I don't know, you don't, it's harder to capture that with bigger places, because like what I find is that like when it's in a bigger crowd, you're like that feeling of accomplishment is more shared, I guess, per se, because you don't really like, unless you're like directly like involved like with the objective, it's harder to appreciate that winning sensation. And like what I really wanted to try to bring back with Soli is that like is really try to focus on the objective, and just try to format it so that it's like when you actually do something, you're actually doing something for the team, because it's like again, since it's smaller player cap, like 3v3, or our our max is like 5v5 for public nights. It's like yeah, you actually are contributing to the team the more involved you are, and the more you move. So when you have moments like what you pulled off there, it's super rewarding, and just like you take that with you for the rest of your life. And that's what I really love so far with what we've done.
I agree, man. That shit's fucking. Again, I don't think I could have done that at any other field. Mind you, I do a lot of shit where like I play at urban a lot, and I sneak up on a lot of people. Mind you, everybody fucking tells me because once they see my skull mask, they're like they automatically assume that I'm like some scary dude. But like I go and I have as much fun as humanly possible, and if I can sneak up on people, like even if I can get the very small chance I can get a fucking team wipe at urban, dude, I'm howling all the way back to spawn. I don't even give a shit. Like I'll wipe the whole team, and then I'll just walk back. Like I'll call myself out just to be a nice guy, so I'm not spawn camping or anything. But like, dude, I'll be fucking screaming like an idiot on my way back. Like just because it's a very rewarding thing. But like that, dude, that night at Soli, I will never fucking forget that shit ever.
Yeah. I definitely won't either because I mean since I especially since I refed that night and witnessed that I was like, oh man, he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it, and like I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be like definitely within the top 10 of like all time Soli highlights, and at least as it stands right now, it's still one of my favorites too. So yeah, thank you for pulling that off.
Hey man, thanks for inviting me out. It's a good time. Okay, so Keto, fuck man, I haven't known you for very long. Um, but I gotta tell you, man, you're one of those guys that like I can sit in a room with for an extended period of time and not want to put a bullet in my mouth. So that's a good
I'm
thing.
glad to hear that. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that. It's a huge
Um,
relief.
you and I have been doing this shit for a while. I mean, mind you, I probably haven't been doing it as long as you have. Um, I could be wrong, but I in terms of like my intro to this sport as a whole, um, I can't remember how I can't like very I guess vividly would be the word I would use. I don't know. I'm not super smart with my fucking words either. I'm a bit of a half-wit, but um I can't like put my finger on exactly how I wanted to try this. I guess it was one of my lifelong buddies. Um, he was constantly showing me all these guns, and he's like, "Man, we're gonna get them shipped. We have to get them from the U.S. and all this other shit." And I don't know, it just kind of spawned my love of just guns in general. I'm a big gun guy, um, and the fact that you get to use replicas of real rifles like the MCX, the Mark 18, the Noveske chainsaw, shit like that, right? Like that to me was like I want to get into this so bad. I have no like I don't fucking care how I do it or when I do it. I'm doing it full force. Um,
Mhm.
so it took me a few years to compile what used to be a pretty massive collection. Um, and I don't know, man. I had all these guns just sitting in a corner. Eventually, I hung them on the wall. And I had no idea what to do, where to go. I had all my gear. I was ready to do it. It was just a matter of finding who to go with and when to go and where to do it. And a friend of mine, Josh, love that dude, fucking great. He was actually, I think he was or he still is in the Canadian Armed Forces in infantry, and he was big on doing airsoft. So I guess we had got to talking, and he was like, "Dude, like let's go to Siege." So it's like, okay, I have no idea what the fuck that is, but sure. So we ended up going a few times, and man, it was very painful. I didn't know what exactly to expect, but like fuck, dude, it was really fucking fun, man. Like both you and I have played there, and we can talk about this place until we're both blue in the fucking face. But it was one of those places where like if you started there, 9 times out of 10 you're not a huge piece of shit, you know. um, but no, it was like fucking paradise in terms of airsofting. So when they
Yeah.
shut down, it was kind of shitty. Little bit lame, but I found other outlets. Mind you, I've only played indoor, which is kind of shitty for me. I'm hoping to branch out and do some outdoors eventually at some point. Um, but nah, man, I there's something about this sport, and there's something about for me specifically, learning and understanding close quarters. There's something about CQB that just fucking puts a light bulb in my brain, and trying to like tackle everyday life with how I would compartmentalize all of my CQB shit that I've learned so far. Um, it's it's just a wild fucking it's crazy. It's crazy how this sport can just evolve person's brain, or at least mine, because I, much like DJ Shipley, fucking love that dude. He said this thing where like he's like basically just give yourself to whatever you're doing, like absolutely obsess over it, and I feel like that's what I've done with airsoft and CQB specifically, because like you like the last time I was there with Chris and Zach and all the guys at Soli. I don't know if you saw me and how I was trying to like manipulate the pistol once my rifle went down. Doing the doing like the pistol only stuff was something that
Oh
I've
yeah,
tried to
yeah,
learn
yeah.
over the last little bit. But like you see that I've it's gonna make me fucking sound like I'm trying to be an egotistical piece of shit. But from where I started, from when you first met me to now,
Mhm.
you've seen some form of improvement in terms of weapon manipulation and taking corners, holding corners, and
Yeah.
breaking the threshold, shit like that, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, definitely. Like I think it's just refining all the techniques that you've learned so far and just you know repetitive like just putting it into practice or in the real world. And I think just naturally the ones that you know take the time to play consistently, they just get better over time, right? Just the whole practice makes perfect kind of ordeal, so I think yeah, you've definitely like you've come a long way. And even for just the few times that you've played um at Soli, I think, yeah, just going from just the standard AEG and then even working up to a gas blowback and even going pistol only. Like, it's good you kind of grasp the all different play styles, and just improve. You improve that way as an overall player. You're not just fixated on one style of play, so to speak.
Well, that's good.
It
At
just
least
makes the game more. It just makes the game more fun too. Honestly, like I
exactly.
used to be the guy too, where I just like. I mean, I couldn't afford more than one gun at the time when I first started, naturally. But like just like having, I saw because like for all the years that I played at Solo, I pretty much just rocked the same loadout. I had an M4 AEG and some kind of pistol. Just did that. And yeah, and eventually just be like, okay, that was enough for me. But then um when things evolved, then especially when I got involved with Soli, I was like, you know what, I gotta change it up. Like it's like rocking just an M4, it's fine, but I just want to try something different, right? Just keep it interesting for me. So when I started playing a few times with Soli, started rocking all different types of interesting loadouts that, because at least now I had some money to actually afford different guns. So I got a fairly good collection now of like different uh loadouts and stuff that I'm really excited to try, because like some I haven't tried out yet at Soli, and it'll be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens.
Right on, dude. So I'm curious, like what sparked your, I guess, interest and desire to pursue airsofting as not just a sport but also you being a ref and running solely the way that you do. Like I'm curious as to like what it like what there has to have been something, or some some movie or fucking I don't know what the fuck it might have been, that just put in your brain like, look, I'm gonna fucking do airsoft. Like I'm not gonna do paintball. I'm not gonna do gel blasters. I'm gonna stay far away from Nerf as humanly possible. What was it that made you really go 10 toes in and fucking just do straight airsoft all the time, and why is it that you enjoy it so much?
So, for me, um, if I remember correctly, I started airsofting when I was around 19. So it's been a little over 10 years now. So like, yeah, 11 years. And I I think with a lot of people in this community, like I started as a gamer, loved Call of Duty growing up, and played that shit hours on end. Maybe a little bit too much sometimes, but um, and then yeah, as a buddy of mine, who I used to work with for a brief time, he's like, you know what, you like Call of Duty so much, you should try Airsoft, and he showed me a couple clips, and my cousin and I, our very first Airsoft experience together was at Ultimate, where at the old location, so not the one where Urban is now, the older in an older, smaller place. So we did that. Um, got shot in the fingers a few times, which sucked, but luckily that yeah, like the very first shot I think I received was a fingernail shot, and that was pretty brutal. I wasn't wearing gloves either at the time, so that was pretty bad. Luckily, it didn't deter me, because if you knew anything about Ultimate at the time, there was definitely a lot of hotheads and toxic players, and unfortunately, me being a noob, I friendly fired a few people, and they really got pissed at me, and
Yeah, that tends to happen.
um, yeah, it's just like you're a beginner, you don't know what you're doing, right? But you don't know how to, PID targets all that well, so but luckily, just I stuck with it, and eventually found out about Siege, and so I think not long after I got my first proper gun, which I actually still have today. Like it's that like my VFC M4 has pretty much stayed with me my whole airsoft career. I think it's been at least, yeah, like 8 or 9 years now since, well, no, like 10, almost 10 years now since I've had it. It originates all the way back from the Siege days, so it's still going strong, even
That's
though it's
so
been
funny.
needing upgrades.
That's funny
Yeah.
that you mentioned that though, because I think I still have my first airsoft gun that I bought. It was a secondhand. I can't. I think it was what the fuck? I don't know if it was an ENC. No, it was an ANK Mod One
Mhm.
Vector, and I still have it. And I'm pretty sure there's still a Siege band on the stock from the very first
No
time I
way.
used it.
Does it still work? Like, is it
I
still
mean,
like usable or?
it cycles. I'm not sure if it fires anything. It's been sitting in a corner for a little while, but it's full metal. It's heavy as a bitch. It's the coolest fucking piece that I have in my collection as far as I'm concerned. But I remember the first time I ever used it at Siege, and I guess I didn't like have the strength to carry it around for fucking 4 or 5 hours. So my arms started to shake, so I had to like crouch and like rest my arms on my legs. And like that's how heavy it was. And like my arms still to this day probably couldn't handle a 4 or 5 hour session with that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so crazy that we both still have our fucking first guns. That's so funny.
Yeah. Well, I'm just no, I'm just glad that, well, at least I'm glad mine still like works. Like I did obviously had to do some upgrades and change some things up, but I'm glad I could still have that as my bread and butter, so to speak. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, I guess just going back to the whole siege thing, like yeah, like ever since the first few times that I got to try Siege, and also because like where I used to live, Siege was just naturally much closer to me, and I think with going there and trying all their different game modes, I just realized like, wow, like these guys, like unlike the Ultimate guys, where it was just basically like, I think at the time it was just practically just team deathmatch pretty much the whole time. Like there wasn't too much variety. At least not from what I remember. And what was really interesting that I instantly noticed about Siege was that they had very like they took the time to actually put together really interesting game modes and really fun game modes. And
Mm-hmm.
if obviously you and I played there, Berlin Wall was the shit. Like everybody, pretty much everybody I knew who played at Siege, Berlin Wall was the game you had to play every time you went there. Because it was just so fun trying, especially whether you when you especially when you were the attacker, trying to push your way all the way up to the mansion and clear out the mansion, top floor, top and bottom floor. And if you were the defender, you're trying to hold down the line, but they're like starting on the ground floor and then on your second life, having to hold down the top floor and just all while a bunch of BBs are flying past you and eventually people are trying to like work their way up the stairs and take you and your buddies out. It just
It was almost like
it's
actual
so
fucking war.
yeah, and like I think because you only get to see that in movies, like some of my favorite movies, just as far as the action goes, like Black Hawk Down, 13 Hours, just to name a few. And you see all those like crazy firefights that they showcase in those movies. I'm
Hmm.
like that's the stuff that if you're into that stuff, that's the stuff you want to like live for and or like at least experience in like a controlled environment, obviously, right? Um, so from all the memories and all the game modes that I remember Siege uh, brought together. Um, it was just always like it was very rare for me to have like a bad time there. Obviously, there were moments, but it was just like yeah, I was always like I knew as long as I was doing my part to ensure I wasn't breaking any safety rules and there weren't any like bad people, like there weren't too many bad people like out on that day that I had to deal with. Like I was gonna have like a good time as long as I just minded my own self. Like I was looking after myself and you know trying not to get in the way of any people that were just like they're just down on themselves and just looking for an excuse to like vent out their frustrations on each other, right?
Hmm.
So but so when Siege, after Siege closed down and stuff like that, right? Uh, so before Soli kind of took on the airsoft thing, I was there was another airsoft kind of company that I ended up like working for or helping out. They were it was a really it was they were kind of co-partnered with Soli at the time when before Soli moved to their current location. They were just purely airsoft range, and they were much smaller compared to what you have now with our range setup. And they were more focused on the IPSC side of airsoft, which is, if you don't know, like IPSC is the shooting competition, right? Where you like shoot targets, you get timed, and there's many different stages, right? It's just the airsoft version of the real IPSC, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Um, yeah, so they had all the electronic targets and setups just exactly like how we have it right now. Um, same style, whatever. And like and they were going to move to the new location, but unfortunately, just because of a lot of, in my opinion, not very good business decisions, things didn't go their way, and and they went under. So, um, And then at the same time, so because since that happened, Solely pretty much bought off their stuff, and they're like, you know what? We'll take a crack at it, right? Like we'll try to, implement it ourselves and try to uplift our business, because like this was right around the time too. Like you have to realize like this was right after the all those gun bans happened, with the 2020 like mass gun ban with like the AR-15s, and then
Yeah.
not long after that we had the handgun freeze. So things just started to go um, really bad for Soli, and
And on top of that, fucking
think
COVID happened too, so that was probably not
and
the
COVID
greatest
too,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
That was no, it was just one thing after another. First it was COVID, and then they then obviously the AR-15 and thousands of other guns being banned. So that really took a hit on Soli, and even worse with the handgun freeze and even more, gun bans from earlier this year. That's been really hurting the gun sales, or for all gun stores, not just Soli, but just yeah, it's just a really tough time for gun owners and gun stores. But so when like as far as the airsoft, like that was the one thing. Luckily, that I mean, it was on the Bill C-21 that they were gonna push to ban not just not just freeze handguns, but they also wanted to ban airsoft. If you remember that, right? And Siege themselves, like they didn't want to take the risk at the time with the because of the chance that if airsoft's banned, then we they continued their lease, then they were gonna get shut down, and yeah, it would have just been a huge waste of time. But obviously that didn't happen. But because of the circumstances, they didn't want to take that risk. On top of the fact that their their rent was just so high, right? And COVID really did a number on them, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So, yeah, all those things considered, right? And just after, solely, they decided they want to tackle the airsoft. And I was just like, yeah, if you want me to help out to run it, I still got most of the airsoft equipment from the old airsoft company, and I can help you guys out. Because what was also interesting too was that Aaron, who again, he was the brainchild of Siege, and for a short time, he actually was working at Soli. Like he was working the gun store, helping out the archery that we have there, and eventually, like when they finally started settling into the new current location now, um, he phoned me up and he's like, "Yeah, like I got an offer for you. Like if you want to help me in building Soli's airsoft facility, then let me know if you're down." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, like I'm totally down." Like, cause I still wanted, like I was still playing airsoft, right? Like I occasionally I squeeze in a session at what at the time was Ultimate, but I still wanted to try to find a way to help help out and grow the community and try to give people the best experience possible with airsoft, whether it was their first time um discovering airsoft, or they wanted a place to just have a good time and not have to deal with so much um bullshit with like the toxic players and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I eventually I met up with Aaron. We over the course of I think some months together, he taught me a lot of things of like building, doing all the construction work, and just planning and setting things up. And yeah, no, like I wish more people could realize like how much help he was in part with building solely the way it is now. But either way, like, the guy's a legend in himself, so he really doesn't need much of an introduction. And I'm just glad that with his guidance, I was able to create something really cool again. Even with the small field size, I think what was great is like I don't know if you remember. Do you remember or were you aware like in Toronto there was a place called Pew Pew? Do you
That's
remember? Do you
this
remember that?
sounds familiar. I think I know what you're talking about because that was like one of those like ranges you could go to, but it was like
Yeah.
they had like party events and shit, and like you could go and like it was kind of like axe throwing, but for people that like guns.
Yeah, so Pew Pew is actually the same similar setup with the old place that I worked at, which was a shooting range, right? Pure shooting range. And and actually like if you've seen our range setup for solely like for the range sessions, it was literally the same thing. But in downtown, and yeah, they were known as Pew Pew. And they I really liked their setup. It was it was bigger than what we had for PS Corner. and and they did all the cool stuff with like tracers and all the targets, the moving targets, and the targets obviously like they popped up, they had the electronic times and stuff. And I thought, yeah, like that's way more the way they were doing it was a lot more flashy, a lot more like visually appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, the fact that they're in downtown Toronto is also just they got a lot more traffic there, so naturally, they business wise, I thought they were doing great. And they even for a brief time, even they were even offering CQB sessions, right? And I think I don't I don't know the whole details, so I don't think I think because there wasn't a lot of planning or formatting, it just didn't take off all that great. Because they did do like maybe one or a couple sessions, and then just kind of fizzled out. They just kind of gave up on it and just only focused on um, on the range sessions. And then they had their little Squid Games special or whatever. But it's like to me, I was just like, I want to do something similar to that. I want to take what all the memories that I had from Siege
Mm-hmm.
and take whatever I could see from Pew Pew and kind of, mesh them together, kind of make a sort of a smaller scale of Siege and a sort of 2.0 version of Pew Pew where it's a place where you can introduce people into the game. They can they can learn how to shoot a gun and just have fun playing targets, all that cool stuff. And also like it could be a place for, whether you're a beginner or an experienced player to, have a little smaller group of that you can get together, have some fun, and and do all sorts of fun game modes within a friendly environment. Because I think one thing I liked more, like personally, was like I liked the whole squad on squad kind of action that Call of Duty and like Battlefield kind of offers more so. Because like I myself, like I wasn't a really big fan of like large like like force on force where it's like 40 and 40, because that was just for me it's like super overwhelming, like
Yeah.
because it's like with so many players. It's like I think one of at times when I was playing at Siege or whatever, it's just like you walk out of your spawn immediately you're getting shot because like maybe they just weren't doing a good job with like either balancing the teams right or just providing proper boundaries so you're not spawn camping them. But it's just like I want to make it so that it's like yeah, with a few modifications and whatever, like you can get a group of friends together and you can have a great time and just do these really unique and interactive game modes that you can't really do with large scale like it's just it's something about with our setup is it's like we're somehow able to make it work where like you actually have to communicate with your teammates and actually work together in order to achieve the objectives because I think with the problem that I've noticed when I used to play at Siege and even other big fields is that you can communicate all you want like to people, but it's just like because you're in a such bigger group, it's just some people that are just kind of off doing their own thing, and it really doesn't make much of a difference because there's such a big group size and you have so many players. But in with how we go about it, it's solely where it's like if you just go off to do your own thing and you don't communicate with your teammates, you die and you could cost your team the win. And
Yeah,
maybe you've experienced this. I don't know, but like I
of
think what I've noticed,
of course I have.
yeah,
I've been that guy
yeah,
who's like, I'm just gonna turn into Rambo for like 30 seconds, and then I just get
yeah.
immediately I get raped very quickly. Like, there's no other way to describe that. Like, I break off, I don't communicate, and I feel like I need to not prove myself, but like I feel like I need to, you know, kind of assert some form of dominance to a degree, and I get immediately shit on almost like instantaneously. But that's just I guess that's just part of the sport, right? Like I'm a big fan of uh, being able to communicate properly, and if there's no sense of communication and there's no sense of teamwork, then you're kind of just like you're kind of just helping your team lose. You know, it's kind of shitty. Like it's a very team based kind of thing, but then there are moments where it's very like individual and a very like unique kind of sport to a degree. Um, but yeah, man, it's being able to communicate and work as a team and to be fluid in that is like you can take on pretty much anything and kick major fucking ass.
Yeah, I think that's the one of the big things that I really wanted to try to I guess bring to the table for solely because like times that I played at Siege, like as great as it was, like it's just like I want to in, enforce or just make it a point that to people that when they play at our places that if you don't communicate with your teammates or if you don't work with your teammates, like you said, you're gonna get completely like shit on or you're gonna cost your team the win. And I've seen it already so many times where some people just they don't they don't work with their teammates and it ends up costing them the win. Even though they like, oh I got 5 or 6 kills in that, but then by the end of the 3 minutes, for example, I sound the horn and be like, guess what? You lost because you left your teammates stranded and you didn't capture the flags with them or you didn't support your teammate who was trying to escort the money bag to the drop point and stuff like that. So it just like doesn't matter, man. Like you gotta if you want that if you want that true like winning that true good feeling playing this game, you gotta work together. You can't be a lone wolf out there,
Mm-hmm.
like. So I think that's what I really try to emphasize to people when they go out like to play. Like and not just at solely, like anywhere you play, I think you should you should be communicating and working with your teammates, talking strategy so that you all can benefit out of it and just have a much better time. Because it'll just ultimately like I think the teams that can communicate more with each other and actually work together, even if like their skills are a little bit subpar, that'll just naturally even the playing field out just a little bit, or at least give you a little bit better of a chance when you're facing against a really good team. Like you just constantly communicating with each other is, passing good intel to help each other out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really important.
All right. Well, at the time of recording, it is almost 11:30. So I don't know about you, but I have a couple more questions, very small ones to ask you.
Sure.
Because I know you gotta hit the sheets. Because tomorrow is Friday, which means that you have a CQB session in the evening. Am I correct?
Yes, but luckily I've got other things going on in the evenings, so my coworker is gonna be covering that one. I will have to work on some things in the afternoon time in prep for some other things for Soli. But yeah, I do have some things I'll have to tackle tomorrow for Soli when I get a chance tomorrow.
Fuck
So
yeah,
yeah,
dude. All right. Okay. So, I'm gonna ask you three questions. I'm gonna leave it at three and see how it fares out.
okay.
Um. So, for your weapons, what's your preferred system? HPA, AG, or gas?
Definitely not HPA. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not a speed softer. Like I lean more towards the speed softer, but even if I was a speed softer, I think I would go with AEG just because I think the technology for AEG has just gone like to unthinkable heights, and the HPA lovers and speed softers they'll probably criticize me for saying this or say whatever they want, but it's just like for the amount of money that you have to spend on an HPA, to me, it's just not worth it. Like you can get a really high decked AEG, um, put in a really good MOSFET and in it, and then still get the same good fire rate on. Like you can make that thing uh freaking super light trigger and just really spam the hell out of it and be almost at the same level as somebody with a really decked out HPA.
Yeah.
Now that said, like although I like AEG, like they're fun. If I do want a bit more realism, gas blowbacks are like a very close second to me. I used to not really care too much about it because to me I only care about like as long as it shoots the BB and it hits the target, great. But I think once I started getting I think once I started shooting real firearms too, like in the later half of my airsoft career, like I mean I owned a few gas blowback pistols like as well before that, but just the more I got into the sport, or at least once I started having enough money to afford more airsoft guns in my collection, that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to expand out a bit, so I started adding a few gas blowback guns to my collection. Like the most favorite one I have right now is the Tokyo Marui Sega 12 shotgun because that thing's gas and
Oh,
semi-automatic.
that
That
thing
thing
sounds fucking
kicks.
sweet.
Yeah, the sound it makes when you're shooting it, just like clink clink clink. It just like that thing is OP. I swear to God. Like if you HBA tap that thing, like God help you if you're on the other team. I'm pretty sure Kayson's actually running that for the tournament too. So, oof.
I
But that
I
thing just like
I pray that I don't fight against K-Sun, man. He's something else, but if he has that Sega, I'm fucking screwed.
yeah. And like with the extended mag, like with 30 shots before with the extended mag, it's just like that thing's just super fun. Like it's super fun to plink with. But if you're gaming with that thing, like it's just that thing's just a CQB monster. Like I mean,
Jeez.
I have a gameplay of it on my channel too, so I'm sure you can check that out, see what I mean. But that thing's just super fun. But like if I just need something simple and just that works, I'll go with AEG. Um, but gas blowbacks are a close second. I think the only reason why I say that is just because I don't have to worry about the elements as much, right? Like I can
Yeah.
play with AG, like whether it's summer, winter, like I know it's gonna work. I don't have to worry about cooldown. But that said, like gas guns, like they are like super fun. So as long as I don't have to worry too much about those things and whatnot, like I'll always appreciate, you know, gaming with the gas gun as well whenever it's appropriate or I feel like I'm in the mood.
Yeah,
So
I'm with that too, man. Like I'm a big guy on AG, but I'm dipping my toes into the gas blowback world right now, and for me, it's better um, for me. I train better with a gas rifle than I do with an AEG. But mind you, I still treat my AEG in terms of like my ammo capacity like a gas blowback. I'm a big guy on like 30 rounds. I don't know what the fuck
Mhm.
it is, but I just enjoy torturing myself. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess you could call it.
Well, I think you just like his I think you want to be able to train like you would be training in the real world, right? Like if ever the day comes, like you have to pick up an M16 or an M4, and that thing only has a 30 round mag. You're set to go. Like if because you've trained with an airsoft gun that uses 30 round magazines because it's a real cap or something like that, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
think that's that could be like what it is because I have the same to a degree, like I have that same mindset too. Like even though I don't use like real cap mags, it's like I just want to be able to train the same way that I would if I was in it was in a real world situation. Like if I'm using a real AR or AK or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Second last question. Uh, if you could own any airsoft replica right now in this moment, just one, which one would you buy?
Oof. Uh, I
It's a
have a
it's a
few
very
things.
tough question.
I mean, I have a few. I might have a few on my wish list still. I mean, some I kind of just I'm just like okay, whatever. I don't think I'll need it or I'll use that. But I was and still am hoping one day the TM Mark 46 LMG. I think to me, like I don't know if you've seen that thing, but it's the one of the few now. It used to be the only one, but it is one of the few uh light machine guns that has the reciprocating uh belt that like when you shoot it, it's not just shooting the BBs, but it actually like shakes the belt that's like attached to the drum mag, and so it creates the illusion that it's actually feeding into the gun, just like how a real uh LMG operates. Like, you know what I'm talking about,
Oh,
right? Like
yeah,
the
no shit. Fuck, I didn't even know that was a
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Damn.
like you have your like after this, if you look it up, like the TM that like there's I think the VFC Mark 48 they do it now too. Like but it doesn't look as good. Like it literally just looks like it's shaking. It doesn't create as good of an illusion as the TM Mark 46 does. Like it literally like when you watch it, as long as you're not watching it in slow-mo, it literally looks like it's actually like feeding into the gun when you're shooting. And I think that thing is like I think that's as good of a like super good technology um that like TM just always innovates really cool stuff, including what I have now with the Sega. Because before then there were just no semi-automatic gas shotguns out there. Um, and they even innovated in the machine gun world or the LMG world. And I mean, sadly, right now they're just, they're not in stock anywhere in Canada. I believe some sites, if you make a special order through them, they can order it for you through Evike and stuff because Evike does still sell them. It's just that the gun's freaking $2,000 like
Oh,
Canadian. So
fuck.
that's just like okay.
Jesus.
Maybe if yeah. So just not definitely not like definitely probably one of the most expensive airsoft replicas on the market right now. But like I guess if you really want a really cool looking LMG and that actually like performs and with all those little like realism aspects with the whole bell thing, I think that's the winner for me. It would be really cool just even if I don't game with it much, right? It's just like it would be really cool just having that out like in my like basement table on display because it has like the whole bipod as well as just having that on display with the belt. I think that would be such a cool desk display or something like that.
I would be, if I ever visited you at your house, I would, and I saw that on your like your kitchen table, I would probably cry. I would either be crying in fear or crying because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a really nice piece. Like you definitely gotta look it up or check out the review videos on YouTube when you get a chance, because that'll just be like, oof, like one day, man. Like if I ever get that hands on that, I gotta like at least take a minute to shoot the shit out of that thing and enjoy it. So
Yeah, I think for me, again, it's a tough question to ask because if you were to pick one, it's knowing people who airsoft, they usually have like, you know, a list of guns or, you know, parts and shit that they want. Like I dude, my safari right now is like 90% rifles that I know I cannot afford. Three of which, one is I believe it's the Toxicant XM7. That thing is friggin' awesome. Gas rifle. Um, there is I think it's the APFG MPX and the Salvo Precision Spear LT, which are
hmm.
all SIG and they're all gas. And they are the only rifles right now that I can think of that I would probably, you know, blow my own leg off for.
Hmm.
If I had to pick one of them, though, I would probably go for the Spear LT because I think the Salvo Precision one is the MWS system. I can't remember. I think it is. I'm gonna have to ask the guys. The guys know more about that shit than I do. I'm an idiot when it comes to shit like that. Okay, last question, and then I will happily let you go to bed because I'm probably gonna go to bed myself soon. Um, so right now, out of everything that you own, so out of your whole collection, what's your go-to loadouts, so primary and secondary.
Um, you know what? I would say as far as go-to layout, uh, I would say the um the same gun that I've been rocking for almost 10 years, the VFC M4 AEG rifle that I have. It's the first gen of the VR16s that they put out with the it's got the it's a with a 10.5 inch barrel, the old the triangle front sight post, like the classic M4 style look to it, right?
Yeah.
Um the secondary, oof, I think it would either be my VFC Glock 18C because even though most of my years playing, I rarely used my secondary. Now with Soli, like it actually makes more sense given the smaller size field. So it would either be just the Glock 18C as my secondary, or if I'm just, if I want to be more unique, I would probably rock my Dan Wesson shotgun revolver because that's something I should mention too is that even back in the Siege days, I was actually more of a I was a big revolver fan. I love revolvers. I think even though they're old school, I love how beautiful they are. So when in the Siege days, I had a first I started with a Tokyo Marui Python revolver, and actually some time ago I even had a Tanaka Python revolver. I think the like if you look it up, the Colt Python revolver is absolutely beautiful, especially the silver one, which I had for both. And then eventually, because those ones, it was more of an internal magazine. So instead of holding the six shot, like six shells, it was like there was like a magazine kind of channel inside the cylinder, so it actually hold double the amount of rounds. So you would load it, you would just load BBs into the cylinder, and so it would hold anywhere from 14 BBs to even 24 BBs with the Tokyo Marui version. But like they were fine and all, they were fun, but then over time I was like, you know what, I like the action of being able to reload and practice it just like the real thing. So eventually I saw really cool videos with like the Dan Wesson revolvers and how some people could even take modify the shells or make 3D printed shells where you actually make um, shells that hold more than just one BB, could hold like 3 BBs or even up to five to make it like a 5 shot slug essentially, or just like spread like when you shoot it, because like the CO2 revolvers, they shoot like typically 450 feet per second, right? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
way beyond the CQB limit. So by putting 3 or even 5 BBs in the shells in the 3D printed shells, it just brings the FPS down, and it actually makes it more practical for CQB purposes because it's like now you basically have a mini shotgun essentially. So um the one that I currently have, the Dan Wesson shotgun revolver, I haven't actually tried it yet, but I'm really hoping like the next time I play it solely, like I'm hoping to squeeze in one more session before the end of the year. So if I do, then I'm really going to be actually rocking that because again, I love revolvers, and I think just now that in addition to the Sega that I have, like now I have this little mini pocket shotgun that if I'm in a really tight situation and I can't use my M4, I can just pull out my little mini shotty and just blast it down the any alleyways and pretty much anything that's in his path is it's gonna get hit, right? So it'll be, and it's pretty loud too, actually, which I think it just adds to the intimidation factor too, which is nice. So
Damn,
yeah,
dude,
I think that's
I'm learning so much more about keto right now. Never would have
yeah.
pegged you
Well,
for a
actually,
revolver, dude.
yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I think you saw it too on our Instagram. Like occasionally when we have small groups, because we have the same one. Like I have the same setup for the revolver, for our range rental, or sorry, for our rental guns. So
Yeah, yeah.
occasionally we even do the whole like, Russian roulette, right? With the the group of guys. Like if it's a small group for a CQB night, we'll be like, you know what? Do a little mini side game, side challenge, little Russian roulette, right? So that's exactly that same revolver that we use for our Russian roulette games. That's solely
That's so fucking
pretty
funny.
fun. Yeah,
God damn.
yeah.
Fuck, dude. All right, well, Keto, it's always a pleasure, brother. Always a pleasure. I love chatting with you. I love I love you, man. You're a good dude, and I got nothing but love for you and nothing but respect for you. Um, plug wherever people can find you, man. Fucking put your YouTube channel in there, your Instagram, do whatever you want. Plug it up.
So yeah. By the way, same to you, man. Really appreciate you. Yeah, no, it's just great. Getting to chat with you and just give you a fun time. And you're a great dude, like all this whole time too. So it's been really nice. Whenever you do find the time to come out and play, it's yeah, it's always great. You're always bringing a great time, honestly. So it's nice. It's nice always seeing you making everybody laugh and getting some pretty clutch moments too. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys want my own YouTube channel, I have two YouTube channels actually. So the airsoft and gaming one I have, it's Magic Knives, so Magic and then with a space in between the Magic and Knives, plural. So that's where you can check out all my airsoft content, whether it be gameplays, some montages, some airsoft reviews, and then also I still try to do some gaming content whenever I can. I am hoping to uh, like put up some Battlefield 6 gameplay on there as well whenever I get a chance, or at least get a decent game in. And if you want to see the magic side of me, then go ahead check out my magic channel, Kito Chee, KITOCHEE. And then if you want to get a little bit more personal with me, then or just come on my my Instagram journey, then Instagram's Keto Magic Guy Chi. So yeah, you can check me out there. Send me a follow request, and I'll get back to you when I can. But yeah, either way, it's been great hanging out you. It's been great hanging out with you, man. And yeah, I really appreciate we could have this nice little discussion and learn about each other's airsoft uh experience and just overall journey up until this point.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a killer time chatting with you, dude. It's never a dull moment, and I'm glad I can bring some of the funnies to Soli sometimes whenever I show up, and maybe even throw a little celebratory tea bag in there.
Well,
um,
I mean, I don't know, like I don't know if you're gonna have any um opportunities to still play just before the tournament, but you know, hopefully at least, you know, when the tournament does roll around, hopefully you'll still get some beast moments and funny moments that you can include in a video, whenever it happens, whether it's before the tournament or weekend of, like hopefully, just just at least give you something at least give you something for your next video that'll, give you some good views and good laughs for everybody.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to this Counter Strike tournament, man. It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a very big learning experience. But I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna have fun with it, dude. And I'm stoked that you're putting it on. And I'm hyped to meet more of the community, which will be a good time. And I'm sure I'm gonna get a couple of good clips out of it too. Like I'm gonna
Hmm.
try and do a big edit for that and make a big video. So that'll be a fun project for me to work on. But anyways, man, with that all being said and done, I appreciate you taking the time, especially now that it's almost tomorrow,
That's so
to
good, man.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm a night owl anyway, so I'm not gonna be I'm gonna be up for probably a little bit. I mean, not too late because I do need sleep, but yeah, I'm glad that we could I'm glad that we could set up a time and we could you know get this first episode out to the people, and hopefully it'll give some people something to listen to and get some good insight, you know.
yeah, man, I'm looking forward to trying to build this thing, to kind of help both sides of the community be less at war with each other, so we can all enjoy the fact that we can pelt grown ass people with fucking tiny plastic little balls. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, no, it was killer time chatting with you as per usual, and hopefully over this weekend I should be able to try and come and see you. I know the sessions filled up pretty quick. But I will do my best to come out and try and get some last minute practice in before I can do my best to, give everybody a good laugh on the tournament weekend. So
Mhm.
yeah, man, that was a good first episode. I appreciate you coming on and taking time out of your night to chat with little old me. And yeah, man, hopefully we can have you on again. And I mean, hey, if you wanna be a co-host, by all means, dude. I mean, it's the teamwork makes the dream work, brother.
You said it, man. I mean, thank you again for inviting me, and I'm glad I could be, show with you. And yeah, just like whenever you'd like me to be part of it for any episodes, and you want me to chat up with any other guests that you might have on here, like yeah, by all means, man. I'm glad that you're doing this, and I'm glad I could be, I'm glad I could be the first person on here with you, and hopefully I'll get to be part of more episodes in the future.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, well, that concludes the first ever episode of the 6 millimeter operator. I'm Sean, and today I was joined by the man, the myth, and the legend, Kito Chee. And yeah, that was fucking awesome, dude. I appreciate it. And hopefully by this point there will be, well, at least when this comes out, hopefully there's going to be some form of social media presence for the show. And I'm going to work on trying to distribute this to all podcast platforms. So check us out whenever we make a fucking presence of ourselves, I guess. And then yeah, dude, I think it'll be good to bring the community together. So um yeah, that's it. So long, y'all. Peace.
Peace.